My name's Alison Howard. I was stationed in the United States Army. First duty station was Stuttgart, Germany, HAC 7 Corps. I served 3 years in the active Army, and then I went into the National Guards. I was considered 76 Yankee Unit Supply clerk slash quartermaster. And what I also went to NBC, I was an NBC specialist, nuclear biological specialist, and weapons specialist. I came from an overprotective family. They were totally against me joining the military. I was from Jamaica, and just coming to America, they thought, my parents didn't even look into what it was about. They were like, no, go to college. And I figured it was something I was really passionate about it. I had to do it. And I had a really young baby at 4 months old. I left her home, and it was hard. It was hard. Every night I would cry myself to sleep because I missed my baby. I wouldn't even go into the long lines to call home because it was easier not to call home than to just stir everything up. And the first day I got there, I wanted to go home because I'm like, this is not what I thought I was getting into. It was just so rigid. But from that day, it was like a shock to me. It was like I was in a shock. And the whole basic training, the whole aspect of the training, I was basically depressed. I would cry every night but there was no way out, because I figured if I stood up and said I want to go home, because I saw one person, a female, who said, oh, I want to go home, and they made it hard on her, and I'm like, I got to make this, I got to do this. Anyway, I gave up a lot to get into the military, and I did it because I felt passionate about it. I just liked the idea of serving. It was just something, I just felt like that was me. It took me 5 years before I even went to the VA for help. It took me in a wheelchair. One day I got up, I couldn't walk, and I had to rely on them to help me. And that's when I realized the value of the VA. They really try to help you. I mean, there's room for improvement, but I'm sure they're working on it. And I wanted to do something, and everything I did, I just couldn't. I didn't have the attention span. I would go to work, and I would just sit there, and my mind would wander off. And it's just, I can't explain to you what I went through emotionally. My children, they understood. My kids would tell me, Mom, you got to tell somebody. You got to get some help. And my son started treating me like I was the child. And that's what kind of got me kind of thinking, something's not right here. My son would, Ma, he would really get on me like he was the dad and I was the kid. He started treating me like a kid because, no stranger couldn't come and, do that and have the effect on me like my kids. But I listened to my kids, so I have a very close relationship with them. And I met Colonel Colmenares, and he's interviewing me, and he's saying to me, well, the position that I applied for online wasn't what he was telling me about, but they were looking for veterans. So he's saying, we need a veteran for this program. We need someone that understands what veterans been through, and this program is a transition and reintegration program. And what it is to help veterans smooth a sail out of the military, to prepare them. So it gives me a sense of I feel good about it. I feel satisfied. I'm so excited about it. I'm like telling everybody about it, and I feel alive. I feel like I have a chance, and this is therapy for me, believe it or not. My job is therapy. Anybody would love a job like that. I'm being healed through my job. I'm helping other soldiers, and the thing that I know it's gonna work is when I came in and I interviewed with the Colonel Colmenares, just the idea that he was in the military too, I knew he knew where I was coming from, and it was a connection right away. So I understand why they need veterans for this program, and so I'm ready to go. And when I went to the interview, I was bawling, and I went home and I said to my daughter, I blew the interview, and she's like, Ma, good for you anyway. She says, you always act like you're a tough cookie. And my granddaughter even said to me one day, I was crying and I was talking to her, And she said, Grandma, you have to tell somebody how you feel. And she's a little kid, and she's telling me that. And they called me and they gave me the position, and I'm grateful.